Hello, my name is Art Osborne. I am the exterior designer at our fantastic new Acura studio in Torrance, California. This here is the 2009 Acura TL sports sedan. I would love to share with you some philosophy behind the exterior and interior design briefly, if you will. The design philosophy for the exteriors at Acura is keen edge dynamic. What is keen edge dynamic? On the one hand, we have technology, which is precision machine, billet, and shear, high tech. On the other hand, we have emotion, which is human, dynamic, sensual. We fuse those together and get keen edge dynamic. Illustrate on the car what that is. As you see, the side body, the flowing character lines, the very sensual surfaces to all the sheet metal. You get an emotional, sensual quality there. You see with the sharp lower character line, and then the sharper angular linear graphics on the front and rear of the car, which we'll show you in a moment. We have more of that high-tech, precision cut quality. The fusion of those together and the overall design creates this keen edge dynamic for a very overall emotional and dynamic vehicle design. As well, with the front end graphics specifically, we have very linear headlight and lower combi graphics and a solid lower bumper. These are strong genetic characteristics of the current design that this one is replacing. So we wanted to build the character in from the current car into the new one and make it even more dynamic.
There we go.
The character lines come back, settle around the deck lid, sweep around from the shoulder right into the rear. This design continues to flow to the rear. And then you have, again, the angular, sharp, aggressive graphics matching very much to the front to give you a really strong on-road dynamic.
What's the rationale for the shape of the trunk lid, the dip, the concave shape of the trunk lid?
We actually have a pretty strong centerline brake, front and rear, as does the MDX. And this is part of the language that we're strengthening with Acura. And we went with the high deck lid along with kind of a more upscale rearward cabin. So it's kind of a high, short rear deck lid for the upscale performance proportion. And then with the brake line down the middle, to continue that brake line in the deck lid in a positive fashion, having a bump up would have the deck maybe a little bit too high. So as kind of an interesting solution, we thought of it as a piece of paper folded in four and then almost back unfolded. Actually end up with a negative brake, and we thought, I haven't seen a negative brake on the hood before. It's new, it's innovative, and so we kept it. So it actually kind of accentuates that rear downward flow from the side body.
Can you explain a little bit the change in the roof line shape, particularly around the rear pillar compared to the previous generation TL?
Absolutely. So we focused on trying to pull the upper cabin mass a little bit rearward, giving a little bit longer impression to the front end, especially for the all-wheel drive car. It's more of an upscale performance image in general. And it's also more of a fastback rear with a shorter deck. A little bit newer, it's not so conventional 3-box type profile as previous cars. So there again, it's just a little bit more fluid, a little bit more modern and new for Acura. So then also the G-line graphic, if it went down this way, that's kind of a more conventional 3-box, and there would be too much sheet metal. So then you pull it back this other way, try to get some dimensional change through the trim to get that kind of calligraphy stroke and a little bit more dynamic shape out of it, and pull the cabin rearward, just again for a more general dynamic to the upper.